Welcome. Thank you for joining me for a few contemplative moments here before our physical practice. And the idea that is coming through for me today is knowledge is power. The first thing we think of when we think of knowledge is intellectual knowledge. Like the more books I read, the more knowledgeable I'll be. And the more I tune in to worldly events, the more knowledgeable I will be. Now, it's not that we have to disconnect from that, but what if knowledge had the knowledge where all of our power resides? What if that was in a completely different place? Knowledge is power is a helpful spiritual idea. Now, for that to be really helpful, we have to look at the false idea of knowledge as power. The idea that the ego or the human condition could take something truly helpful, the idea of knowledge as a universal sense of self, peaceful, happy, and completely whole. That is knowledge. To recognize my wholeness is knowledge. Because if I see myself as whole, then I have no demands to make. What could I possibly want if I see myself as whole? Doesn't that sound powerful? Now we can look out on the world and we can see lots of examples of exactly the opposite. It happens at the level of, it happens at the familial level, it happens at governmental levels, political levels, societal levels. And then, gosh, imagine trying to take the knowledge away from someone, like as in a book ban or censoring information. It's happening. There's a twist on just about everything these days. Maybe there always was. The twist, the spin. What if it's nothing new? It's just more sophisticated. It's a different form to keep us distracted, keep us wanting false knowledge. It's a heavy statement, I know. And I'm not suggesting tune out or stop watching the news, but it is worth looking at. It is worth questioning how fulfilling worldly knowledge really is. It changes from day to day. True knowledge is perfectly consistent. So first we look at the draw, and sometimes this intense draw to worldly information. I was just next door yesterday at a neighbor's house, middle of a beautiful day, and they were both just watching the news. And I've noticed in many households, the news is always on in the background. What is this doing? How helpful is it really? Maybe there's a way to tune in and get a snippet, and condensed version of what you might find to be really kind of helpful, informative, and then turn it off. Mm. And now this is where we join. This is our deep yoga. So join me here and now and close your eyes, and we'll share the same prayer. If knowledge is power, then I want knowledge. Knowledge equals wholeness. Knowledge equals perfect unity. Where are we going to find perfect unity? In our hearts and minds. We find it there, and we extend it outward. Knowledge equals perfect peace. What could be more powerful than unshakable peace? And then you raise your hand, you say, yeah, but that seems so elusive. How am I possibly going to find that knowledge? How am I possibly going to find that peace living in this world? That's the yoga. There are two things we share. All 8 billion of us. Two things we share. One is the dilemma, the human condition, the dilemma of finding happiness in a world where it's very fleeting. And number two, we all share that answer in our hearts and minds. You know, only the latter, only the truth is the one that is real. It's the only one that really exists. So, wow. How difficult do I want to make it? That's the question. And we our resistance is very strong. And the pull to the distractions and attractions is very strong. That's just the power of belief. So back to the prayer, back to the meditation, back to the yoga, we say, I want the power of knowledge. I want to know my true self. We just plant that seed and we nourish it. We watch ourselves slip. I slip. And we just slip and we catch ourselves and say, so another opportunity to practice. Minds are joined, bodies are not, bodies cannot. All you got to do is, if you want some scientific evidence of that, you just got to do a little tiny bit of research and type in quantum physics and do a little reading. You'll see. Eventually, you'll get to some information that says it's all connected. We share electrons, we share particles. Nothing stands separate. It's 99.99% space. 0.01 is a particle being shared across the entire universe. Beliefs are powerful. We just have about a minute or so before our practice. Let's close the eyes, relax into your structure, and join. Keep coming back to the desire, the deep desire, permanent, lasting, undifferentiated knowledge is power. Welcome, and thank you for joining me here for this 60-minute orange class. We're going to begin at the wall, and I'd like you to have a strap and a block handy today. Shift your bolster off to the side, have your block and your strap handy. Scoot in closer than usual. Roll your legs up onto the wall, lie back, bend the knees, lift the hips, rest your pelvis on the bolster. Let your mind relax into this healing moment. Bend the left knee and bring the left knee toward the left shoulder, interlocking your fingers over the top of the knee. And like sinking a knife through butter, just slowly sink into the shape. Resonate with the slightest bit of sensation. And use the sensation as a means to join. Release. Put your heel back up on the wall. Pause a moment. Rest your hands at your sides. Feel your low back and belly relax. Observe the different sensation now and here between your two legs. not for some magical outcome of observing the difference. It's just to feel the power of peaceful observance. And then switching the interlock of the fingers, come over the right knee. Like a knife through butter, slowly sink into the hip, into your knee and into your bones and into the shape. Releasing your hands, place your heel back up on the wall. Sometimes we slide back a little bit, so make any adjustment on the bolster so you feel comfortable and supported. And then locate your one block and hold it straight up toward the ceiling. You can softly open your eyes and see your thumbs on the bottom of the block, the underside, fingers over the top. Squeeze the block. Keep looking at the block. Feel your 8 fingers on top pressing against the block as completely as possible, consistently as possible. Feel your thumbs squeezing from the underside, and then close your eyes and compress the block between your 2 hands. Feel how that brings extension into the elbows. It also can bring tension into the neck and the upper part of the shoulder girdle. So let's observe that and see if we can squeeze the fingers and thumbs, compress the block, extend the elbows, and keep some space around the base of the throat. That's good practice. Keep the space and the openness and reach for the ceiling. Keep the squeeze. Keep your throat open and slowly arc the block overhead toward the floor.